So I want to talk about contemporary art a little bit in this video. We see alienation very much present in contemporary art. When we hear critiques of contemporary art being nihilistic, ultimately what that is, that nihilism, stems from a disassociation, an estrangement from any convention, any established convention. And that established convention would either be an endorsement of the state, an endorsement of religion, of traditional culture in some way. So pre-modern societies, art, rather cities are as aggregations of art are fairly consistent, and you can see a underlying convention that pervades the aesthetic achievements everywhere and only changes very slowly over time. So that's something we would describe as a convention. It's rooted in the metaphysical beliefs of the culture responsible for it, and art serves to endorse those beliefs, the power structure that is held together by them. And with contemporary art, well, rather we should say that through modernism into the postmodern era, you see a disintegration of that power structure, of that convention. If we were to have a discussion on what art is, trying to define what art is in our time, we would want to establish fairly quickly that any one individual would answer that differently from another. That there is no established way. That is the precise meaning of it. There's no convention. There's no established way. Anybody will define art, what they value in art, differently. So that is another example of the atomization of a society that's estranged, that is alienated from convention, from religion. If you go to major galleries in any major city, the white walls of a contemporary art gallery embody this alienation. It's blank. The art is floating in nothingness. Okay, this was never the case. If you went to a salon show in 19th century France, every painting is framed with a gilt frame, ornate frame in an ornate building with ornate moldings that match the frame and blend into the architecture and so on. It blends into the convention. Contemporary art in a contemporary art gallery is floating in emptiness, an empty room, an empty white room. And this is representative of alienation. Now, the nature of this alienation has to do with the commodity form, that these works are commodities. That's the common denomination that they all share in common. So you have all of these alienated art collectors with different tastes collecting art of all of these done by all these alienated artists who have different tastes, different beliefs, and so on. So you have a whole grab bag of different shit, and that's what contemporary art is. It's representative of the estrangement that collectors have from any established convention, and likewise for the artists as well. Now, alienation in the modern era and the commodity character of contemporary art go hand in hand. The marketplace is inherently alienating. That is to say that as you bring a piece of cultural property, called a cultural item, into the marketplace, you're introducing a commodity character to it. This commodity character is universal. It's related to a price name, a money name. It's worth this much in dollars. And once it has that price on it, it's commensurate with anything else with that price, and it drops into universality. And that universality, in order for it to be universal, in order for it to be a commodity, it cannot be sacred. It cannot be directly connected to anything that is too important to be sold.